working from home is starting to feel kind of icky on the body. Please tell me I'm not the only one experiencing this. Now couple that with an old injury or two that I can't leave the house to get help with, a boatload of stress, and more hours of sitting on my butt that I care to admit or am used to, and that's a perfect recipe for not feeling so great. And while we're living through this time in history where there's this crazy virus ripping through the world doing a thing that makes us not allowed to do our regularly scheduled things, we find ourselves in a position with a lot of time on our hands that maybe we could use to focus on some basic movement and foundational work so that when we're allowed out of this place and can live large again, maybe just maybe, we can be a little healthier and a little stronger in the process. Now, one of the most basic movements that we can improve is breathing. And you're probably sitting there going like, Nina, I'm already good at that because breathing, I'm good at that. And you'd be right, you're good at respirating. But breathing, while it runs in the background, it is also a muscular thing. And we can have some control over it. And if we practice and build more skillful and less dysfunctional breathing patterns into our system, it is a fantastic way to help us feel better physically and mentally, helping us move out of that fight, flight, freeze, freak out mode and into that more zenful, peaceful state of mind. Now, also too, this virus is ravaging people's lung function. Why would we not want to focus on building some health within that system? We do have some of that in our power and control by doing basic breathing drills. More on that later. So, how about over the course of the next couple of days, I don't know how many, we'll see, we got time, is we start focusing on the little movable parts so that we can become better breathers for all of the good things, physical, mental, immunological processes. So just one thing at a time. We don't have to do all of it and be really great at it right out of the gate. That's unreasonable. But for the next day or so, until we meet up again, I want you to focus, step 1, on the position of your head. Now, what does your head position have to do with anything when it comes to breathing? And you would be right to ask that, but here's why. So our cranium, our head, is the home of the brain. And our thorax, rib cage, is the home of the lungs. And bridging between the two is our neck. So by focusing on where your head is in relationship to where your lungs live, can make a huge difference on how deeply and strongly and more controlled you are able to take a breath in and let it out. 2 phases, in and out. A lot of people suck at one or the other, let me tell ya. And we'll explore which one you need a little bit of work with over the course of our little mini sessions here. So, like I said, for the next day or two, I want you to focus on the position of your head, where it lives in relationship to your rib cage. This is going to help your neck feel so much better as you're sitting looking at devices, reading books, and working on the computers, or doing whatever it is that you are doing during this time to keep yourself occupied and otherwise engaged. Now, this neck position is so vital. Here's your anatomy nerd lesson, friends. In the neck, we have our vertebrae, and out of the vertebrae, velociraptor, out of the vertebrae come our nerves. And the ones that we are most concerned with in our instance here is C3, C4, C5. Now, if you've ever been in a car accident or had some type of a traumatic event and had to be taken to the hospital, you will remember that they put a collar around your neck so that you couldn't move your head. And they didn't take it off until the physician in the emergency room said it was okay, because they had to clear you for injury in there. This is why this is important for breathing. C3, C4, C5 keeps the diaphragm alive. That's a little EMS nugget for you. Okay? So the nerve that feeds and tells the diaphragm what to do comes out of here. So if your head is in kind of a weird position, relationship, geometry, whatever you want to call it, don't really care. If it's in a less than ideal position of head over rib cage, it can put a little bit of pressure, a little bit of interference, a little bit of whatever on that nerve, which then changes how it talks to the diaphragm. That's bad news bears, friends. So let's start here. Start from the top and we'll go down, okay? So play with the position of your head. Now, I'm going to turn myself to the side here. A lot of people, you know, kind of, I have my little mic box here in my hand, you know, we're on our devices, checking stats and the news and what's the government saying, all that stuff right now, right? And cat videos, whatever you're watching. And we kind of do this little slumpy thing. And if you notice, my ears are kind of forward of where my shoulder is. Now, this is probably an exaggeration. I'm really slumping it here. But maybe it's not. So we're kind of here. And if you look, this is why I wore my dangle earrings. We know because of gravity, my arrow earring is always going to point in the same direction. And if we looked here, this is my arrow earring is pointing down to the floor. But look at the angle. If you could draw a line from here to here, remember, bridge that gap, chest to head, it would have a certain angle. But if we wanted to be in a better angle for breathing, we would do what's called head ramping. Some people call it packing the neck. And here's what this looks like. From the back of the neck, you're going to get really long. Now, when I cue my clients to say long in the neck, this is usually what I see. I don't mean long in the front of the neck. I mean it in the back. So you want to think up from here, from the base of your skull, so that your chin goes back. So you're here, long in the back, chin back as well. And as you see, when I do that, this part, my chest, follows suit. So a lot of people, when they're trying to figure out this whole posture thing, like, oh, I squeeze my shoulder blades together. Yeah, no, that needs to go. Pull the back of your neck up, chin back. Check in with yourself over the course and like set in a reminder on your phone if you need to, and just be like, long neck, chin tucked. See where you are. You're probably not going to be very good at it at first. That's okay. You're going to get better at it. It's going to become more of your autopilot. It isn't now, but it will become. So just play with that for the next couple of days. And then we'll build from there. So try it out. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And let's see how this goes for you. So long neck, long in the back, chin tucked back, so that your head is sitting on top of your chest. So you have a nice bridge, and my neck would be more in line with my dangle arrow earring. Try it out. See how that works for you. Play with how much you are able to breathe. Inhale, exhale. See which position feels better. Explore it, and we'll go from there. So until next time, have fun ramping your neck. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others. Wash your hands and stay home. Until next time.